Tens of thousands of football fans came to Highbury. Electrifying.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the unbreakable, the unmistakable, and the always relatable TCP Live. Coming at you live at 7:30 p.m. every Thursday evening on YouTube and available ad-free on YouTube memberships and Patreon. You sleepy?
Yeah, a bit tired today.
Why are you tired? What have you been doing?
Been,
Back with
busy.
the time masseuse?
Busy. You naughty.
You've been busy. What have you been busy with, Roham?
Work, gym, and here I am now.
That's not busy.
That's not busy.
There will be people listening to this who are working 2 jobs with 3 children, single parents.
Yep.
Apologize to them for saying you're busy.
Technically, 2 jobs, right? Second job this.
We don't pay you for this.
Yeah. Second job this. Work, gym.
Rohan's had a pay rise, by the way, guys.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, I'm a bit tired actually. I didn't even know England were playing today. I thought they were playing tomorrow.
I didn't know England were playing. I'm so checked out of international football. It's not even true.
Yes, we got Saka and Rice
It's
starting.
a friendly.
It's at Wembley.
Oh, what's the point, man?
They just.
They're actually playing a friendly. Are we serious? Are we serious? Is Saka playing?
Yep.
No!
And so is Rice. And they're going to play the next game as well. You know it.
Why are they playing a friendly? What's the point?
Do they both need to just say, I don't want to play? And pull a sickie.
Surely, if you're Saka and Rice, I hate Nations League. I think it's pointless. I think it's just trying to make more meaningful.
It's better than friendlies, though, right?
No, no, it isn't, because if England won the Nations League, would you actually? Well, you wouldn't care.
I don't care. Yeah,
exactly. But if England won the Nations League, I wouldn't care. I would not care.
Games are a bit more. They are more competitive though, which makes them a little bit more interesting.
I would only use it as like Saka's won the Nations League. That's the only way. That's the only way I'd use it.
If I had my way, I would scrap all of the international games during the season. Scrap it all.
In 2026, they're changing it to like a 3-week international break. So instead of 2 September and October ones, they change it to a 3-week international break in October. So we get the September one. That's gone.
Yeah.
But then it's going to be 3 weeks.
Year.
3 weeks starting from next year.
3 weeks. Oh, God. I don't know about you, but I need my weekly Arsenal fix at least.
What are we going to do?
We're going to watch cricket. We're going to watch cricket.
No, we're certainly not going to do that.
Absolutely.
Can we like open the transfer window or something? Why is Saka playing a friendly? I'm sorry, that's so stupid. I'm so annoyed about that. I'm not even putting this on. I'm really annoyed about that.
Be annoyed at Saka and Rice. Be annoyed at them too.
No.
Yes. Why? Why not? They're the ones who want to play as well, don't they?
My beautiful boys. Surely if you're Saka or Rice, you could at some point be like, look, listen, TT. I don't need to.
Pull a sickie.
You will not pull a sickie. Just be like, look, I play someone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then maybe he's like, I need you. And then like, go on then, boss. Fine.
Boss. Marcus Rashford has more to prove than Saka. Play him.
Yeah. He's low-key cooking actually at Barca.
Is he?
Yeah.
No, what?
Yeah, I wanted to mention that because you're like Marcus Rashford's biggest stan.
I never knew that. So you're telling me a guy who scored 30 goals in a season actually is talented and it's just all about environments? Oh my God. I never knew that.
You and your Rashford love.
I do love him. I'm sorry if you can hear my neighbour's party.
Can't hear
I've
anything.
never heard so much screaming in my life.
What they vibesing to?
It's 7:30 on a Thursday. What are you screaming about? There's nothing to scream about.
Maybe he's doing the 4-day week. Maybe he's finished.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a her. Wow. Wow.
What is she vibesing to? Can you hear it?
I can't hear it. Hang on. I don't think it's music. They're just screaming. It's just a lot of like.
Maybe it's like a silent club. You know, there's those silent clubs going around now where you just got headphones in and they're like daytime as well. You can just have a little boogie.
Little boogie. Put the headphones in. Ford is saying it's a swinging roundabout party. What would you know about that, Mr. Forder? Welcome back to TCP Live. How is everyone? I hope you're all spiffingly well. We're going to be discussing this evening. Are we the greatest football team in the universe? When can we sign Antoine Semenyo? I want to talk about timing this evening, Rohan, based off a little post I saw on our favorite website. I want to talk about Raya's contract. I want to talk about stadium expansion. I want to talk about youth. And of course, I want to take your questions. And as always, do our thumbnail check.
Oh, yeah. Right
I'm
now?
smiling for the audio listeners. They might be watching TCP Live. That's a good point.
Absolutely, they could be. And imagine they were. Imagine they were. Like,
imagine I got recognised in my own building. Where's the weirdest place you've been recognised?
Well, apparently Cyprus Airport. That was a bit weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they confirmed that you are 5'2". Right, yeah. Rohan. Are we the greatest team in the universe? Top of the league.
Yep.
Liverpool out of the title race. Easy fixtures coming up. We will never have another problem. Are we going to walk the league?
So what you're saying?
International break question.
What you're saying is in every main pod and the comments will all be positive from now on.
Every time.
There'll never be another negative comment.
Never. No more comments about your hairline. Nothing.
Yeah, my hairline's fantastic, actually.
Serious question.
Yeah.
I am
very optimistic.
I've never been this confident, and this optimism has stayed since the Newcastle game. Like it happened post the Newcastle game where I went, we're winning the league. Like we are winning the league this season. And I was like, I'm pretty sure of it. And it has stayed since through West Ham, through the Olympiacos game, everything. I'm so confident about the season.
That's interesting, right? Because what I've been doing is, during international break, you reflect upon things. You try and look at perspective, look at data and everything. And I was thinking yesterday on my commute to work, what's the key game this season that's been crucial for Arsenal? And I'm guessing for you, it's Newcastle. Correct?
Correct. And you're going to tell me, no, actually, it was the 3-2 against Villarreal in pre-season because we broke down the mid-block in a specific way. And if you actually listen to me, then you'll know that.
Do you know what? You're low-key cooking, but it wasn't that game, actually. It was... Let's stick to Newcastle, actually, yeah. I think that Newcastle game was massive because it was like... it's that classic saying where if you play a game 10 times and you put the exact same performance in, that Newcastle game going to St. James's Park, which, by the way, I think it's going to get harder and harder for teams to go there. They're low-key cooking, I'd say, in terms of defensively in particular, and their squad's looking better. You play that Newcastle game 8-10 times, we win at least 8 of them because that's how good the performance was. Unfortunately, with the manner of the way that we had to win it, with it being really nervy, that didn't show the true... it didn't provide the true representation of what we actually did that day. We completely silenced the crowd from minute one. We won the loose ball game, is what I like to call it, because when you go to Newcastle, I don't care what anybody says, you have to be... You're in a WWE fight at baseline because every single time they have the ball, they're hitting it long. The way they press, it's man-to-man. You don't have short passing options available to you. You have to go long. So then it's just a dueling contest, and whoever wins the loose ball game can then start to play, and you then pin Newcastle in. And we did that fantastically. I thought Eze was fantastic. We saw what Ødegaard was able to do, the 23-24 version of Ødegaard. Gyökeres had a really good game as well. See what I did there? And yeah, it was fantastic. For me though, mate, the big game that I think we could look back on is United away on the opening day of the season.
Ooh,
right.
Talk to us, Rohan.
I'll tell you why.
Spit some ball knowledge. Go on.
And I think you're quite big on this, in terms of the ability to win when you're not at your best, right? We were awful. You are absolutely massive. And by the way, actually, I've got a fantastic word of the day.
We'll come to
love
it.
this one.
Finish your point, and we'll come to a word of the day.
Yeah, okay, right. We're definitely coming to this, but you're going to love this. Right. So the United game, we were not at the races. You know, that was a game in which, on the main pod, immediately after I said that was an anomaly in terms of a Mikel Arteta performance because we were so technically loose. We were not good in the loose ball game in terms of going for second balls. And it's strange because a midfield of Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes dominated the middle of the park in terms of duels, etc. And they were able to win so many second balls, and we were under stress for prolonged periods in that game. I don't know about you, but I felt so anxious throughout the entirety of that game because I felt we never had a foothold to it, but we won it. And what I mean by comparing it to the Newcastle game, where the Newcastle game, we performed fantastically. United, we didn't play well. If we played that United game 10 times and we performed the way that we did, I don't think we win more than 5 or 6. United had a lot of really good moments. But David Raya came clutch that day, and we could look back on that fixture in which we weren't at our best, but we found a way and we got 3 points at Old Trafford on the opening day of the season. And it only becomes a problem when you play like that, when it becomes a trend. But like I said, that was an anomaly in terms of Mikel Arteta performance. The only time in which we're under stress is when we're down to 10 men for prolonged periods. But that game, I felt we were clutch due to David Raya's excellence, and getting 3 points, I think, could be very key come the end of the season.
I'm going to do some analysis now.
Yes.
I'm very good at this.
You are fantastic.
I think that and this is kind of in my wider feeling around why we are so good.
Mm-hmm.
I made this post earlier in the week on our favorite website, and I spoke about that there's never going to be some big fanfare moment, I don't think, this season where everyone goes, "Oh, Arsenal are good! Oh my goodness, they're finally good." They find in the same way that, for example, I don't know, Liverpool when Klopp came in, there was like, "Oh, Liverpool." Actually, no, that's a bad example because they had the Brendan Rodgers thing. But you know, there's a moment where you go, "Oh my goodness, mate, Arsenal beginning of 22-23. Wow, this is really this. You know that." This really big moment where everyone goes and sits up and goes, "Oh, is this the next big team?" All of our issues have been, when they come together, big issues, central access, and whether it's squad depth or pick your favorite problem, but individually, Arsenal maybe not accessing the center of the pitch in certain games. Try and isolate. Yes, it's been a big problem for us, but the actual problem itself, like, is it game model defining? Is it like era defining? Is it only solved by a complete squad overhaul? No, these are things that are like ultimately tweaks, really. Yes, big problems, and they cause us big problems, but they are actually themselves not big issues. And so I say all that to say we're never going to sit up and go, I don't think, this season, "Oh my God, we're flying, we've cracked it, we're suddenly a good side." We have scored the most goals we've ever scored already under this manager. We have conceded basically nothing already under this manager. Yeah. We have seen unbelievable moments. We've changed our Big Six record already under this manager. We've done all the things you do. We just haven't won the title yet. So the things that are actually going to push us over the edge are going to be back to that United game. It's basically things like that. That is a game where something almost didn't happen. That's a game where they didn't get back in it because we've made that, well, let's say, for example, that, you say it's the Raya thing, the Raya save. That was based on that not tiny margin now, but felt like at the time, tiny margin of upgrading Raya from Ramsdale.
Absolutely.
Or the, the set pieces, whatever. We've done all of those tiny little percentages here and there to get to a point where there's so few ways we can lose games. There's just so few ways now. And if we are in a position where we look at the record so far in the games up against the mid blocks, if we are in a position where we have so many ways of killing you, if we do have a bit more central access, all those sorts of things, then there's just, as I say, so few ways that I think it's going to come down to maybe a few moments like the Newcastle game, which is maybe gives you that momentum of belief, but actually going back to that United game, stuff that almost didn't happen. Because I think that's a game we probably draw 1-1, or maybe we don't put as much emphasis on set pieces, or don't have the set piece delivery that's 2% better than anyone else. We don't have that goal. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very long-winded way of saying I think this season is almost going to be defined by what doesn't happen to some degree. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I completely hear what you say. And for me, like, And you're going to talk about timing, and I saw your post, and it was loved it. I genuinely think, for me, like, what's going to stop the only thing that's going to stop Arsenal from winning the league, and I felt it last season as well, is our ability to keep key players fit. Like, we have a squad now. Like, that was the only thing for me that was stopping Arsenal from being able to reach their goals. Like, I back the manager so much because, for me, sometimes we tend to over-index some of our own problems instead of looking at the many good things that we tend to do. It's natural for a fan, right? But no team is ever going to be complete. There's always going to be a weakness somewhere. It's about where do you have that weakness? And I think we're so complete in many areas. The set pieces thing, that has been something that Arsenal have been working on from the moment Mikel came to the club. And the reason why I say that, and I know it's boring, but that lecture from Miguel Molina, mate, I wish people could have a look at that, because in the very first document in the lecture that he does, there's a few things that he's got there, and it's in bold: set pieces, counter pressing, and then being brave. It's these three factors. Set pieces was in bold, and this was 2020, 2021. Because, because I feel like, God, I'm going really high there. I feel like the game, like you said, in specific matches in which you're not at the races, you need to bank on the things that you know can really be the driver and dictating the outcome. And it was that set piece at Old Trafford, right? That was the only. I mean, I don't think we had a lot of moments in transition that we were playing a little bit too quickly, but that was the big moment in the game, and we managed to capitalize on it. And that it could be the difference. So
the phrase, well, the two things you said earlier, I think is a perfect example of the point I was making before. For example, keeping your best players fit. The Gabriel thing, that quote after the game, I think, when did he come off? Was it it wasn't the Newcastle game, it was the game before, maybe? Or maybe it was the Olympiacos game? This season, yeah, where Mikel said Gabriel could have carried on, but we took him off. We brought on Mosquera.
Oh, God. What game was that? Just gone blank.
People in the chat, like, how can you not remember this? You know everything. Or when Declan Rice comes off against West Ham.
Yeah.
Those are perfect examples of they could have carried on, but they didn't. Olympiacos. Yeah. They could have carried on, but they didn't. And again, we're going back to things that didn't happen. Things that did. Gabriel could come off the pitch because we had someone there, and it doesn't become a season-defining moment. That's like a perfect example.
Here's a question for you, right? So let's just stay with that topic. Do you think that's Mikel learning, or do you think this would have always been the case if Mikel had a squad like we have right now? Because if we look at previous Mikel, right, he will continue to play that player, but that could be because he doesn't fully support the player that he has in reserve to finish the game. I don't know. I can't really answer it, but it could be a combination of both, maybe. Or
I think it's probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a bit of Mikel learning, and ultimately probably coming back to, like, does he push a bit more for squad depth in the summer compared to previous years or whatever? But ultimately, the preeminent driver is the quality available to you. So yes, he's learning a little bit, but I think ultimately he's never had a squad this deep, and we've never seen results like this. Again, it's like it really, England score from a Rice corner. There you go. So yeah, I don't know. And I don't want to just start we need to talk about other stuff, but I don't want to start every show by saying, "Oh, we're so good." But that's why I'm so confident and feel so happy. He assist. Robbed.
Can I say my word of the day now?
After this, Ali Mir, keep up the good work, boys. Proud of you. Moneypenny, think you have allegations to clear up on X about being an industry plant. Big up, Rohan, representing the South Asians. Keep up the great work, lad. Who's calling me an industry plant?
That guy who came on the overlap. What was his name?
Papa Pincus.
Yeah, the one who came on here and was very rude to me. Well, he wasn't rude, but he was
rude to you. He just asked you why you blocked him.
Yeah, and I know why I did block him, actually. So yeah, staying blocked. However, what was I going to say? Oh, I've lost my trail of thought now. I've lost it.
Overlap, Papa Pincus.
Yeah, but I had something to. Oh yeah, forget it. I lost it.
Do you know it's funny watching someone else do the same thing and getting killed for not criticizing enough. Like, it's honestly. I'll say it.
I know.
It's just not a good environment. It's not a good environment to have a conversation. Like the big thing I learned from that whole experience was, like, there's good environments to have conversations and there's bad environments to have conversations. That's not, if you want to do good work and analyze properly, it's not It's not good. And like, I don't even necessarily blame Sky or the overlap. Like it gets them clicks. It works for what they want to do, right? But if you you're not going to get a 10-minute section where you actually go back and forth and they really listen to you and they're like, oh, actually, that's a good point. And you listen to them and go, oh, that's a good point. It's not going to happen. So why bother?
Yeah. You learned the hard way, didn't you? And it's just is what it is, isn't it?
Right. Let's move, Rohan, to this. That was it. That was where I wanted to go. The timing is a funny thing, isn't it, Rohan? As I stall waiting to find this thing. Here it is. Here we go. So Amazon Prime found hang on, let me just bring this up so people can actually see it rather than me just waffling over it. Let me share my screen. Here it is. So Mikel Arteta has won exactly the same amount of his first 300 games in charge of Arsenal as Jurgen Klipp did in the same amount of time at Liverpool. 177 wins for Jurgen Klopp and 177 wins for Mikel Arteta. And a Liverpool fan quoted it, and I got so angry. No, I didn't. Achievements in those 300 games: Klopp, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, Super Cup, League Cup ×2. Arteta, second place ×3. Late equaliser against City, and an FA Cup and a Community Shield. But okay. Interested in your take on timing in the environment of football, Rohan, because obviously Mikel spoke last season about timing. I think end of last season, he said obviously like winning trophies is about being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
and I think this is kind of a perfect example. Look, do we wish we were in Klopp's shoes, not Mikel's shoes? Obviously, no one's denying that. But I think that comment at the time, and I remember even at the time because it was at a similar time to the PSG comments, and I remember being like, "Is it worth saying that?" Like, not necessarily that he's wrong, but is it worth saying? Like, it's just you know how people are going to take that. But I do think he's kind of right. Like in terms of timing, that's literally proof that you can do the exact same. There's not a quality gap there. You get the exact same amount of wins. You can look into maybe draws and losses or whatever, but that is proof that it's so much about where you are and at what time you are.
Absolutely. I mean, if we go and break the seasons down in which you were in a title charge, right? 22-23. I know we're referencing, but
this guy, man.
What was the biggest issue that we saw that season come towards crunch time? It was the William Saliba injury, and then it was further compounded by Tomiyasu sustaining an injury as well, who was the backup. Now, we can then look at Mikel and think, did you really need to pursue with Rob Holding in some of those high-octane games? I don't think so. I think you should have gone with Kivior. But at the same time, I can't sit here and say we would have absolutely won the league with Jacob Kivior coming in, who had only just came to the club, and it would have been at right centre-back as well. You going to say something?
How many times do you think you've mentioned that on this show?
The what? 22-23 or Rob Holding?
The specifics of you playing Rob Holding at the end of 22-23. How many times? How many times do you reckon?
It burns me every time. Go and watch that game against Liverpool, and then he has the cheek in a podcast after to talk about that Granit Xhaka incident that woke up the crowd. Boom. Absolutely.
So we've been recording TDK and TCP live for what, 2.5 years?
Probably more.
Let's call it 3 years.
Yeah.
We've done probably 150 episodes. I reckon you've mentioned Rob Holding in at least half. 75
what do you reckon
mentions.
you've mentioned at least 50% of the time? Or you more versatile, Alex? You're just I don't
think I am.
You are.
Sorry, carry on.
No, but that season, for example, the biggest issue there, I did think that there were certain cracks within the way that we were playing in that season. I won't go into the specifics, but ultimately, losing William Saliba was the biggest driver there in terms of Arsenal not being able to sustain that challenge to the end. Would you agree or disagree?
I would say it was the preeminent driver, yeah.
Absolutely. So that's timing, isn't it? There is an element of timing there. Then the 23-24 season, Arsenal, and I know I'm doing one of my another bingo cards here. Arsenal operated at one base, but you put this question, you put this on me, so I
didn't ask the question so you'd say all your phrases,
but I have to, right? So January 2024, Arsenal operated at 100-point pace. Okay, 100-point pace, right? What do Man City proceed to do, right? We unfortunately
This international break is sending me mad.
What Man City proceed to do is from December, they are operating at 102 or 103-point pace. From then onwards, they have their best run from January or from December onwards out of any year Pep Guardiola's had in management. So that is timing as well, isn't it? And this is the biggest frustration for me. Is like we look so much into that Aston Villa game where we lost, but in the grand scheme of things, we lost one game from January onwards. I think it's so unfair to put significant blame on the team in an isolated game, which can happen. Unfortunately, we were up against a beast that managed to better us from December onwards. But we're talking about from December, and it's crazy.
No, I know we're laughing, but you are cooking. Like and you could even look at. I think 24-25. We should take more of the blame, but you also say we had prepared the squad properly, and say we had I don't know less injuries or whatever it might be. We'd still be up against I would argue, at some points Ballon d'Or level Mo Salah. So like you have to accept what your opponents are doing at times, and that's the point. You have to beat them. Someone someone in the comments of that video today, not the video, sorry, the post today said like this is a ridiculous argument. If Andy Murray wasn't playing alongside Federer and Djokovic, of course he would have won more majors. If he was winning as many tennis points as Djokovic and Federer, which Mikel is in this situation, and they weren't playing, then he would have won more slams. What?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole point. Like
that's such a hipster way of thinking, that isn't it?
But you have to accept it. And it's actually someone made a good point in the comments. I think biggest proof, Dinny on our Discord.
Dinny's a ledge.
Biggest proof of the importance of time is the Ballon d'Or. Neymar, Suarez, Iniesta, Xavi, Lewandowski, Henry, and Mbappe haven't won it because of the anomaly that they were up against at the time. And I think this is such a good way of putting it. Like Henri didn't win a Ballon d'Or because of Nedved. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just like who's
Neymar didn't win a Ballon d'Or. Neymar.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. So it's timing. It's timing. It's who you're up against. And I someone like Neymar, I think his whole like football legacy is impacted by the fact that he was operating in the same era as Messi and Neymar.
Yeah.
I still don't. I mean, if maybe pure numbers wise, Haaland is the closest to him. I don't think we're going to see two players in that same way just dominate for as long as they did. Yeah. We might see players hit the same numbers in terms of certain seasons or whatever, but the same players. We share the stage 15 years, like that thing.
yeah.
Like I don't think that happened. So what can you do in that era?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of it is timing. I think Mikel's spot on there. Like the amount of points that Arsenal accumulated is obscene for us to not win anything. Right.
I'm not reading this comment out, but that is mad.
Right. We are not doing this Thailand allegation yet. It was simply a sports massage. Well, some form of massage.
Oh, some form. Oh,
God, I'm not saying anything.
It was simply some form of massage.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble with this.
Look, the timing thing. Like the problem is when you say like I'm bringing it up now because we're top of the league. Like realistically, if we were behind, I probably wouldn't even bring it up as a talking point. But I do think there is a factor here, and I think specifically 22-23. The timing of that Saliba injury, you could bring that up. You could also look at certain games in that season, or like even just like
Tomiyasu in the same game, mate, as well.
Stuff like that. Like, and the problem is you just sound like bitter or whatever, but it does matter, and the proof is in things like that stat. The proof is in the fact that Henry never won a Ballon d'Or. Like, there is just timing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the whole thing of if you win as many points as we had, I'm not sure exactly on the numbers. I think the numbers I gave on the main pod were bogus.
They were spot on. There was one guy being facetious in the comments, and if you saw it, there was one guy. He didn't include this season's points.
Oh yeah, included this season.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the point.
So the last 3 seasons and this season, we've won more points than City and Liverpool. They've won two Premier Leagues, 1 Premier League. It's just I don't know. I don't want to go too far on this because you just get into like but era.
That's why I can't sit here and berate the manager consistently because I believe in so many things that he does. And I actually do think the data-driven mindset that he has all the numbers and the stats. I think it's really important. I genuinely do. And I just need one season where he wins it. And I think the narrative changes completely. And I think it's so impressive, the fact that the players are still completely invested in it as well. It's not normal for players to miss out on that big honor and then still be motivated and invested in doing something. Because naturally you can think to yourself, we're doing all the things the right way, but are we really doing all the things the right way? We're constantly missing out on the final hurdle, but you don't see that. I think everybody sees how good Arsenal have been playing this season. I'm seeing a lot of narratives in terms of like, oh, Arsenal are cooking, and I'm seeing some build-up sequences. I'm like, mate, we've been doing this for a long time, So it's
and that's what I mean. The analysis of suddenly Arsenal are good doesn't wash.
It's like, do you see Arsenal doing this thing in build-up? I've seen us do this. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I honestly, I know this is such a hipster take, but some of the stuff you see, it's ultimately because we're playing well, so people want to talk about us, and I get it. But some of the analysis you read, you're like, mate. I saw this in like 21, 22. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'll never tweet it out. I hate it, but I'm thinking something, man. Like, I was tweeting about this. We were tweeting about this before, and it's.
Oh, we're just so right, aren't we? All the time.
Yes. We're not ultra crepidarians.
No, I have to say, we're doing thumbnail check for those of you on the audio. This is the detail. I like. Of course, we'll have a look. I like the fact. Let's start here, down here. I like the fact that firstly, table toppers and Mikel sat on a table. I like a visual gag. Very good. Yeah. Win does look dead.
Yeah, I'm not keen on that.
That's
what's the purpose there? What's the purpose? I'm intrigued to know the story behind that.
Forda, she looks dead. Have you killed her? Anyway, we've got Win. We've got Mikel holding a Premier League winners medal, which we like. Manifesting. We love to see it. We've got the hidden Rohan behind the Premier League trophy. It's fantastic stuff. We've got a 2025 me and Mikel Arteta calendar. He's even got the right date. Look at
Okay, that's very good. That's very good.
Look at the detail.
I wonder how long it takes to do this.
It's not October the 10th, but it's October the 9th.
But, it's the 10th. No, but it's the 10th. Oh yeah. No, you're right.
Oh, it's the 10th month. Oh, I'm with you. Okay.
Yep.
Me is the. I don't understand the reference of the Aussie breakdancer. Don't quite get that.
Sure.
There's the Premier League table. So here's my thing. Lots of detail.
Yeah, lots to digest.
Oh, even on the table we've got top of the league, new merch, Saka contract, Timber contract. Lots to digest.
Absolutely.
It doesn't feel like it's pulled together though. Do you know what I mean?
So what you're saying is you don't like his thumbnails, you hate it. This probably took him hours, and you just said that.
I have to be honest about the thumbnails.
The thing that's putting me off is Win. Really, I love
that's slightly
dogs.
that's maybe set the tone.
I don't know what's happening there. Is he sleeping? But I know my dog doesn't sleep like that.
Absolutely terrible. I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Give it an 8. Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Can I
say it's the actual. I still have the calendar. It's in here somewhere for that.
Saka scored. Yay!
Oh, it was from the actual calendar. That was the point.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice.
Very good.
Money penny. Saka scored a screamer apparently.
Good.
Right,
screamer.
I'm taking control now. I'm saying the word of the day.
So let's move on to no.
Right, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love it. Sesquipedalian. You are gonna love this one.
What on earth did you just say? Say that again.
Sesquipedalian.
Sesquipedalian. Sounds like a
Sesquipedalian.
How do you spell it?
SES.
Yeah.
QU.
Yeah.
IP.
Yeah.
I think it's IDAL. Yeah.
You're pronouncing it right as well.
Yep, mate. I I've not spelled it right.
Sesquipedalian.
Of a word, polysyllabic, long, sesquipedalian surnames,
Yeah.
like mine.
So I could say it in a sentence as, "Oh, that Rohan Jeevan and his flipping sesquipedalian tweets."
But isn't it only of one word? So you'd have to say like sesquipedalian language.
Yeah, you could say like, "Oh, he's filled his tweets with sesquipedalian words."
Please, can you say that? That's
What?
if-
Sesquipedalian.
This is just if Sesko has a stinker.
Sesquipedalian.
Sesquipedalian.
I thought you would have loved that word because you love
No,
ultra-crepidarian.
I love it. I love ultracrepidarian. I used that. I was doing some interviews today, and I used it twice. I was like, "Do you know the kind of podcast?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do you know Rohan?" Yeah. Do you know the word ultracrepidarian?
What are you talking about?
Sesquipedalian. I'm going to try and use that.
Yep. That's your
Can we-
that's your task now.
That's my task. Okay. How exciting! How good! I want to see this Saka goal actually. Just while we're live.
Yeah. I don't think we
do
can
I-
share it, can we?
Do I risk showing?
If you've not got
showing
the
it?
scoring, I'm pretty sure it's okay, isn't it?
Hang on.
Oh,
Oh,
for God's
wait.
sake! I've seen the Rice one.
goodness me!
Is it good?
It's yeah. I rarely tell people to stop watching the podcast, but go.
Can you share it to me?
You can find it.
Okay, fine.
It's just vintage Saka playing it as new ground, and that's where we turn to the next part of the podcast. I'm such a professional, aren't I?
You are
Such a
absolutely
professional.
fantastic. Well,
Such
I
a
try and search
professional.
for this Saka goal.
Arsenal are talking about expanding the Emirates. Arsenal could move to Wembley while the Emirates is expanded, says the Telegraph. Arsenal are planning a major expansion of the Emirates that could force them to move their home matches temporarily to Wembley Stadium. Trying to get to 70,000, according to The Guardian. Here's the article here. The Emirates Stadium has a 60,700 capacity, placing it behind Tottenham West Ham's homes, which were built after Arsenal moved from Highbury in 2006. There's believed to be an appetite from the club's American owner, Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, who are holding us back to increase that to 70,000 people, which would significantly boost matchday revenues, with more than 100,000 people on the waiting list for season tickets. Good
Crazy,
Lord.
isn't it?
Initial thoughts on that, and then I want to talk about something I saw today.
Well, I've read the article and I've seen the Saka banger, and it is an absolute banger. It's an Iron Robin-esque finish. Regarding the stadium expansion, so I did look at that article a couple of times, and I mean it makes sense because I think the article links back to one of Manchester City's hearings about the APT rules that they challenged, and one of the big things that came out of that is that we're soon going to see, player spending being driven directly from, revenue. So this is a massive part in terms of being able to help us on that front. And I think, probably they're going to look to improve the hospitality, the corporate boxes, etc., because that's where the big driver is. And actually, I don't know if you've seen Kieran Maguire's study. He looked at the yield per fan, match day going fan, on average for all the teams, every team in the Premier League, and Arsenal's on average £100 per fan, right? And that can include the ticket, it'll include like club shop, food, drinks, etc. So £100, an extra 10,000 seats. You can do the maths. It'd make a massive difference. But I actually do think that this is not going to happen anytime soon from reading the article, because it said that Arsenal passed up on the opportunity to host Euro 2028 games. They've also not sought permissions yet, planning permissions, which can take as long as 5 years, according to that article. And also, Arsenal are situated in a very difficult area as well to expand the stadium. The one thing they can certainly do is they can make the gradient steeper. They can certainly do that to increase the number of seats. But outside of that, I think it's going to be quite difficult to have something happen immediately because of where Arsenal is situated. There's a lot of the rail works as well, the underground. I'd love to hear the conversations with the council as well about it. It probably won't go down very well, so it's going to take a bit of time.
I think we'd be lying to ourselves to think this is before 2030, maybe even boots on the ground. Kind of like, I think this is going to be a long time away. Yeah, it's interesting one. I mean, two sort of offshoots before we talk about how we could possibly do it, which I think is an interesting article I want to come to. The Wembley thing, don't love, can't lie, and I think if we can avoid that, like I don't. It's may I mean ultimately this will come down to the commercial side of things and the financial side of things in the end. I just don't love it, and I think from a team culture perspective, there may come the right time to do that. I think if we were going to do that like next year, I think that would worry me. But maybe in like 3-4 years' time, we might be in a different.
How else would you be able to do it though, right? Like in terms of being able to expand the stadium to above 70,000, that's going to take a lot of work. It's honestly just look at where the Emirates is. It's very nice to look at and whatnot, but it's there's a lot of complexities to it. But Wembley would be the only choice, wouldn't it? It's not going to be a summer fix. Do you know what I mean? On the off season, it'll take a lot longer than that.
No, we'd be there. I would imagine over a season. Whether it's a full season, I don't know. But it would. Yeah, it's going to be a big project. I just don't love the Wembley idea, but equally, there might be a necessary evil. The second thing, to be honest, I understand we want to expand and we want to go there, but it's relatively 10,000 seats, right? Are we at some point down the line going to look and go, we need more? Because there's stadiums with nearing 100,000, and if we're going to be in this for the long term, like I've often wondered, what was Highbury like, 40,000?
It was, I think it was just under 40 here. Yeah,
right. Like, is it enough? Is another question for me. Like, is it going to be enough long term, or is it a case of a sort of a short term expansion which doesn't take too much before a kind of long term renovation or even a move? I don't know. I mean, that's a really, really long term. Otto Marley, who's one of the guys that the Cronkies have brought in, dealt with the Cronkies stadium. Is it the SoFi?
Yeah, something like that. It's like 100K, isn't it? Seating.
Yeah, it's the one with the screens in the middle. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a kind of my point being that if it's going to be 2-3 years of disruption for 10,000 seats, I'd love to. I don't know, but I'd love to see the maths on the worth. You see what I mean? Like the worth of adding in versus, let's say, adding 2,000 seats over a summer in a way we'll talk about in a second. Like, I guess I'd love to know, and we probably won't ever get that information publicly, the risk versus reward. Okay, if we add this many seats, it's going to take us this much time. It's going to cost us this much. It adds this, and sort of adding it all up. If we're doing a full stadium reno for 10,000 seats, losing 2 seasons, and we're going to have to move eventually anyway. I don't know. It just feels like.
I guess if it was a 2-3 year thing, I'm pretty sure. Well, it'd be more than 10,000 seats that they'd be looking at. It would be. I don't think 10,000 seats would constitute to 2 to 3 years worth. I think what they're trying to do is, they looked at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and what has happened there since their new stadium has been ready to go. You've had big concerts, you've had NFL games, you've had big boxing fights being hosted there as well. We've had concerts as well. I mean, I think this summer we had Robbie Williams concert.
I was there, mate.
Yeah,
It was
great.
Good?
Was it? Fair play. But like, with all due respect to Robbie Williams, in terms of right now, the big names, Spurs have had like Beyonce, they've had Kendrick Lamar. These are the names that they've been able to attract, and that's had massive benefits, certainly from a revenue standpoint. I think Arsenal certainly, the Kroenkes' ambitions are certainly trying to get us to have that traction, because right now Spurs is the traction for the big events. And but I do agree that if you're looking at 2-3 years worth of work, it needs to be like a big renovation. It kind of sucked from a personal point of view because I love going to the Emirates, and I don't know how I'd feel about going to Wembley. Firstly, it's further away for me, so there's complications there. Don't know for you, but it's
forward with the exclusive. I'll be told it'll be more than 10K, and they pre-planned for extension prior to building the Emirates. We'll be going into detail on the Fockles pod tomorrow eve.
Is that you, Forder, with the insight? Yeah, inside knowledge.
Alex, is the name 5 Arsenal players guy your brother? I don't have a brother. So probably not. Unlikely. You never know, though. Anyway, I wanted to show this article from Arspod, which I think is interesting, to sort of talk about how things could be done, which, and again, going back on this sort of phase scale, I wonder how they're approaching it and whether they're thinking about, okay, do we add, the sort of what's the risk and what's the reward? And I think that's a worthy consideration. But I read this earlier. This is about the Benfica Stadium. I think they have pictures of it. Yeah, the one down here, which is basically by the same architects. It was built for Euro 2004. And it was opened in 2003, and then we had the Emirates obviously built by 2006, but it was the same architects called Populous, I think they're called. So one of the first things they did, so this is interesting, so adding rows was basically how they hit their target, and the first thing they did was move the fans a little bit closer to the ground, to the grass. I think that's a possibility, and you could add 2 or 3 more rows, because I think there's probably. But I wonder whether you might need to push the whole lower tier back a little bit to get that. I don't know, but I think you probably could add a little bit more.
For me, the best way is messing with the gradients. Right now, you've got the Emirates. Let's just assume it's up there. If you make it a little bit steeper, you're naturally going to get more seats in. But these are like incremental changes. These aren't like big drastic changes, and I don't think. Yeah. They can't, because I think the outer bowl, I think in that article is that they can't, that can't change. So they're looking at workarounds, and these sorts of things can happen. And I've went to the Benfica Stadium, done the stadium tour. It's literally like a carbon copy of the Emirates, like no joke. It's brilliant, and I honestly think like if there is going to be change, it's going to be stuff like that for the time being. But then it begs the question. I don't think that is going to then supersede what Tottenham have done. Do you know what I mean? To become that attraction of the big events. But it's every little helps, right? You know, more fans, if they're going to try and improve corporate hospitality, there's maybe incentives there for sure.
But even on this one, I'm just going to do, so 300, but even by adding 2 rows closer to the pitch, which I think would be possible, they added 3,000 in that stadium, which would be 300 grand every match day. So I think that, like I do think there's an interesting question about the little changes you could make. So they're also planning to wrap the entire facade in a dynamic digital skin, as you can see in the artist's impressions here. I would love it if the Emirates look like that. I think the outside could do with some more iconic aspects to it. I think I like the outside. I like that we've done with the artwork and stuff, and I think the artwork means a lot, and that's really nice. I just think as a stadium, like the Allianz looks amazing.
Like on a Champions League night there, you know, like
looks amazing. I think the Emirates looks good, but I think it could look better.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just thinking Champions League night under the lights. You're walking at Arsenal Station. You're going through the Ken Fry Bridge. I think it could look better for sure. You know, especially when I've seen a lot of stadiums in Europe, and like from the outside, you can tell there's certainly room for growth. But just look at where the Emirates. That's where it is.
The difficulty is with the Emirates, and they sort of talk about this in the article, which I recommend you go read. The difficulty is in the Benfica's case. Yes, they can do stuff in the stadium. They can, as you mentioned earlier, look at the gradient. They can maybe add another tier on top or whatever it might be, and sort of changing that. They have space around it, and it's all part of like a bigger, wider project in that area of Portugal. We obviously don't have space here, so I don't know. I wonder whether there might be thinking around, do we just move?
You also have this as well. You also have this potential issue as well now. You know, with more people, you're going to get more, overcrowdedness, and like getting out of games is not the easiest. It can take a bit of time, and that's going to add more pressure for sure. So, but I like the thinking behind it for sure. Like it's good to certainly think about these things, because you definitely do need to. Otherwise, you stand still.
If I think about who, if I like rank clubs by stadium size, rank clubs by stadium.
You have West Ham. You have Tottenham.
So top is Barca, and they're currently renovating, but that would be close to 100
in Europe.
That would be close to 100. Why is that not? Why has it done? Just rank them. What are you doing?
Wait, is Barca top?
Barca's top with 99. No, well, the new Camp Nou will be 99,000.
Okay.
Old Trafford is this isn't in order, but the Old Trafford is 74,000. The Allianz is 75,000. The new Bernabeu is 81,000. Even Dortmund, Signal Iduna Park is
FIFA?
my name's Derek Ray is 81,000. The San Siro is 75,000. The Estadio Azteca in Mexico is 87,000. Al Ahly in Egypt is 75,000. Estadio Monumental for River Plate is 83,000. Like we're quite far behind.
Yeah, but it wasn't the case like 5-6 years ago, though. This is the thing. A lot of other clubs are moving forward now with their projects. The thing with the Emirates is it's still very new, isn't it? It was only built in 2006, so like we were like deemed like the benchmark for a lot of these clubs, but now everybody else is coming above, and now we're then having to fight back.
Do you think, in hindsight, we moved too quickly? Because I wonder, like, if you look at the financials of the Premier League, even between, let's say, 2005 and 2015, that's a much bigger difference than between 2005 and 1995. Way bigger.
Yeah.
In terms of incomes. And I wonder whether if we could do it all again, would we move at that time?
But we could potentially say the same thing about like the next decade, though, couldn't we?
Yeah, and you never know. Like, it's very. I'm not criticizing. Ultimately, like, I can't be like, oh, you didn't know exactly what was going to happen in the future. I'm not criticizing the club for that, but I wonder if we had our time again, considering the impact it had, considering the team we had around that time when we moved, and what it did to that team.
Yeah, I have a feeling though we could be saying the same in like the following decade, especially with the growth of AI. I think. Yeah, we could be looking back at like the state of what Tottenham have done now and say, oh, maybe they moved too early, and they should have moved.
Yeah, possibly.
Do you know what I mean? So, the world constantly changes, evolution continues. Yeah. It's very difficult to. I hear what you're saying. Like looking at hindsight, yeah, I'd say we definitely look. Maybe we tried too soon, but in that moment, it's so difficult to foresee, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I mean, look at Stamford Bridge. Like it's
Stamford Bridge is what? That's like 45, isn't it? Or
I don't know. It's about I think it's about maybe 42 or something. But again, they've done everything they can with the space.
Yes.
But they have a small space. But I think and they probably need to move at
40,000.
Yeah, they probably need to move at some point. But they've managed to be all right, and I think we probably could have held on to Highbury, but who knows. Now Sia says we need a logo revamp.
Oh, okay.
I low-key agree with this.
I like the logo.
I just think it needs simplifying. It's not that. Let me pull up the Arsenal logo. It's not that I think I want to change the logo like wholesale. I just think it with the two shades of red and the let me just pull up the logo.
Yeah, let's get it up.
It's the two shades of red, which I don't love. The gold text around the A. Like I'd keep the same thing. I love the shape of it. I love the cannon on it. I think it's really cool. I just think I'd probably get rid of the blue. I'd maybe just keep it red and white, and maybe a little bit of gold detailing. But I'd get rid of the blue for me because I just think it makes it look a little bit cheaper. I keep the text the same. I keep everything the same. I just think the two shades of red and then the blue aren't quite working for me. I'd keep it clean, red, gold detailing, and white. That's all I do.
Oh, I'll be intrigued to see what Forder has to say on this as well, because he loves a little bit of cheeky Photoshop. What about when it was just the cannon? What about when we had the Rosemary beat, like the Rosemary? In that season it was 20. I can't remember the exact season that we had it. The badge had like the yeah. I didn't like that. I didn't.
Yeah, I quite like having a full badge and then having the iconography of the cannon in different ways. Do you know what I mean? Like I like having the badge with the word Arsenal. It's a crest. It's a thing that you can stamp on things. It's like not just a cannon.
Yeah.
But
okay, so you're not for just the cannon. You're not for just the cannon.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I like the crest. I think it looks cool. But I just think it looks. Do you know what it looks like? It just looks very 2000s. And that's when it was. When was it? 2002 or something? 2003 maybe. I'm probably getting that wrong, but yeah. and that's proof that I know nothing about Arsenal. Rohan,
Yes, sir.
before we go to some questions,
Yes.
I had something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, that was it. The Raya, or two more things. The Raya contract situation.
Yeah.
Interesting. This could be showing my knowledge. I don't think other clubs are doing this.
Yeah.
Just giving pay rises, which
Yeah.
either makes me think we're ahead of the curve or we're idiots. But considering what we've been doing recently, I think we might be a little bit ahead of the curve here.
Well, it's very similar to the Trossard one. So you can only give a pay rise from what I've researched before the season starts. I think Arsenal had already confirmed it before that first game against Man United in the same way as Trossard. And I think what it was in the Trossard case, it was a sense of we were open to sell him. That's quite clear. But in the event of us not being able to sell him and the season starts, then we're going to find ourselves in a situation where we'll struggle to remove him if we then extend his contract during the season, which we don't want to do. We don't want to extend the length of it. But then the problem is like once the season starts and Trossard hasn't had a move, he's on a wage that perhaps isn't what it definitely hasn't been representative of the value that he's given to the club. So it's about giving him a salary that is in line with some of the other players in the club who are producing similar levels of performance. I think the Raya one, I mean, Raya's what, 31 now?
I think he's 30. But
So-
let me look that up.
Yeah, so his current deal expires in 2028 with the option to
turned 30 on
Yeah.
15th of September.
So 2028 is when his deal expires, but there's an option to extend, so that can take to 2029. Raya will be what, 33? Maybe there's a logic there in terms of Arsenal looking at a succession plan and not looking to tie him down to a longer deal. I might be wrong. We might see Raya again a contract extension at some point this season. But I think maybe it's again a case of giving him a salary that's worth the value that he has produced for the football club. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I think it's about transparency and accepting that ultimately, I mean, Raya and Trossard's wages were just simply not reflecting what they were doing on the pitch.
Yeah,
They simply weren't. In terms of, I always think with image rights and things like that, it's hard to know exactly what someone's wages on. But I also think people get really finicky about wages too. And they're like, actually, it's £82,000. It's in a ballpark, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's you're in a tier of players, and ultimately David Raya plays every game he needs to for Arsenal Football Club. And if I think he was on something like £100,000 a week, which, considering what his other teammates are on, considering what not that he needs to be on Saka's wages or whatever, but considering what the contracts that the two guys in front of him have signed, I think it's completely fair. I also think in terms of, I think people here are a pay rise and no time extension and maybe fairly. I think the first time we did it, I was a bit like, what are we doing here? Like I'm a little bit confused, but I think my feeling on it has slightly changed in the sense that if you actually look at how much extra is, let's say, an extra £30,000 a week on the books compared to your overall total wage bill of the club, it's a drop in the ocean, mate. It's an absolute drop in the ocean. And the what you're weighing it up against is David Raya agitating to leave. Like that, and I like really like. I think when you weigh up the cost per versus your potential, your number one goalkeeper leaving, I think it makes sense to me. I know probably it's not a massively done thing, but I also quite like that. With both of those players, they're what's Trossard 31, 32?
Yeah, around that.
We're giving them pay rises, but we're also not tying ourselves. We're not having to tie ourselves down. We're
not handicapping ourselves, especially with Raya. I mean, like I said, Raya's deal will after this season. There's still 3 years maximum that we can get out of him. And I think at that point there will need to be an element of succession planning, and I think we're not handicapping ourselves to that situation. That's the way I see it, and I think honestly, it's about players. A lot of players will look at football as a job. And they'll be looking at how some of their, teammates are being paid relative to what they're being paid. And look at what David Raya is producing for Arsenal. We're talking about 2 Golden Gloves. We're talking about consistent performances post Luton away back in 23-24 November time. Actually, I think it was December time. That's a serious level of consistency that he's given.
That's when we started going on a 100-point pace.
Absolutely. Not quite. That was when Man
I've got a
City
game.
went at 103-point pace.
I've got a game. Firstly, Ram said I've joined late. Please start the podcast again. Thanks. We will do. Yes, guys, welcome back. I've got a game for everyone. We're going to play it together. What year do Arsenal move on from these players?
Oh, mate, you're good at this. What was the other thing you did last week, or on the main?
Killer, whatever it was. The mentality one.
I didn't go down very well in the comments.
I don't care. How can you tell? It's football, mate.
It's just a guess.
It's a game.
It's
a complete guess. And it's fun.
Yeah.
What year does everyone not leave? Do we move? Yeah, I'm going to say move on. So someone basically replaces them in their position, starting with David Ray.
Oh, as in not sold.
Not necessarily. Maybe they're sold, but as in they are replaced.
They are replaced.
Their
value diminishes. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What year does the club move on from David Raya?
2027.
At the end of the 26-27 season? At the end of next season?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's my feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let me bring up the squad because this is going to be I think this is going to get tasty.
Yeah, get my glasses.
So by which point? Because I want to know their ages and where they'll be. Interesting.
Tipsy's staying. That's early.
That's early. Right, here we go. Brought up the numbers here. Didn't plan to do this, but I like this.
Listen, we don't know. It's very difficult to predict. Do you know what I mean? It could happen sooner than we think. I don't think that's too soon either.
What for Raya?
Well, he would have been what?
Contract till 2028, so he'd have a year left, and he would be at the end of that. He'd be 32. Yeah, it might just be a case of look, we can't get any more. Maybe it's a sale because for 20 million or something because we can't get any more value out of him.
Yeah, I'm saying at the end of next season, so we have this season and the year after. I'm not saying he leaves. I'm saying he.
It's not leave. It's like when the club decides to ultimately replace you in the lineup, whether you leave or not. It's like when you aren't a guaranteed starter.
Yeah, and keepers can go late. There is that argument for sure. You could go late on. I just have a feeling 2027. Yeah, that's my feeling.
I buy that. And we're just looking at the starters. William Saliba.
Never, hopefully.
I think
he will dictate that.
I think this is all dependent. People can say this is naive. I really do believe that Saliba's whole thing is I want to leave here having won trophies, and I will not leave until I win trophies. To a point, like if he gets to 29 and we still don't want a trophy, then that's stupid. But I think I really do feel 2-3 more seasons.
Yeah.
But say we won the Premier League and Champions League this year, it might be one more. Might be next summer. I don't know.
But then again, he does love the club, doesn't he?
I know people think this is naive. I just think he loves the club. I really believe him when he says if you don't win trophies at this club, you get forgotten. And I really believe that he thinks like I've been here long enough now. I'm playing. I'm with Gabriel. But yeah, as I say, it might genuinely, it might be next summer. With actually no, because they probably get Canate, but maybe the summer after, depending on what happens, because they might say, well, if I've won the Premier League and Champions League this season in a dream scenario, they might say, well, we're going to get 150 million for Saliba if we sell him now, based on So I don't know, maybe
I will say, I'll say 2027 again, but it's dictated by him as opposed to Arsenal.
I agree.
Him. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be the play. If it's down to Arsenal and if William Saliba's happy, there's no end date for that. I mean,
I agree.
So,
Gabriel,
I'm going to say 2028 because I think I don't know. I feel a little bit more confident that he'll stay for longer.
Honestly, mate, I think he's here till 29.
Yeah.
I think he's here 4 more years. And I think he goes to Saudi or something like that. I really.
But you
I
agree
think
he'll stay
even-
longer? You think he'll stay longer?
I think if we win or we don't win, I think he'll be here.
Yeah.
I just have that feeling about like, and he will go down, especially if we win stuff. But even if we don't, he will go down as, mate. I don't want to say the names or insert the conversations with.
Just need to win that big honor, and then some
If
conversation.
he wins that big honor, some serious conversations are being had.
Yes, that will cause some.
Just in terms of quality.
Yeah.
Let's do. Can't really do Miles or Calafiori.
We can't do like Hincap here because we don't.
No.
Yeah.
Jury and Timber. By the way, player of the season
For us, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Who's your top 2 this season?
Probably the fullbacks. No,
Timber
Timber and Zubimendi. Oh, get your own opinions.
Well, I think it's like so. Timber and Zubimendi.
Do you think we're in an echo chamber? Do you think we just need to start talking to other people about football?
Probably.
Probably.
Start talking to, I don't know, League Honor. Yeah.
Let's get them on.
Yeah. God, remember that day.
But like I can't if you said any of their answers, like I think you're wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like,
the thing is
I
actually did tweet it 2 days ago. Thank you very much. So
Well,
you
mate.
copying me, Alexander. I think, and then it's like the other 3 are in whatever order you want: Calafiori, Rice, and Raya. Do you know what's crazy? Though? Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say, but Rice has this issue, the same issue as Saka. He's so good, so consistently that it just doesn't he doesn't register.
Exactly, and that's what I was thinking. I've not even mentioned Saliba and Gabriel, which is crazy. Taking them for granted. Right, so Timber, I would say 2029.
I'm going to go 2028. I just think a little bit sooner.
Okay. Oh, as in he will leave, or?
I think he'll leave. I think he signs this contract, which would take him to 2030. And I think he leaves in 2028 with 2 years remaining.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think you're right. 2029's ages away.
Yeah, I just think he'll want a different experience. He feels like one of those guys.
Yeah, 2028.
Which is completely valid.
Yeah.
It's like, also, I think this whole thing, like, it's people are like, oh, like no one club meant. Yeah, fair enough. You get one life. You get one career. Go and experience as much as you want. No one has ever said, oh, I went and experienced the world and I hated it. There might have been hard times and like difficulties and maybe decisions you wouldn't have made, but no one's ever gone. It's like no one's ever gone, I regret going to the gym.
Yeah.
You never do.
Do you enjoy traveling, Alexander?
Love it.
Yeah. Are you like one? I need to see almost all the countries before I die. That's 190, but that's not going to happen.
I'd love to. So Timber, we're both saying 2028.
Yeah.
Ben White. Oh, this is yours and George's.
Not out of choice.
Nightmare. Oh, he's turned 28, so he's basically 35.
No, mine's saying I don't think I've got question marks as to whether he can sustain the level now after what he's gone through. That's my feeling. If Ben White's good this season, I'm cool. I love Ben White. Absolutely love him.
I think it's really dependent on this season and his fitness. Yeah. But I literally think it's like he goes next summer or he stays probably till he retires. Like I would feel that for Ben.
Really?
I think he's. Yeah, I think he stays.
Outside of Saka, in terms of scoring the winning goal for a Premier League or Champions League, who would you want?
God. He'd be right up there, Ben White.
Would he be right up there for you?
I mean, probably like I'd love a Martinelli or something. That'd be nice. Miles or someone like that. But
Well,
Ben White, like considering what considering what he's been through. Yeah, Ben White. But I think it's basically this season or forever.
Oh, really? I think it's happened this season or next season.
Interesting. Even if he proves his fitness.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Declan Rice.
I have a feeling he could be someone who stays forever.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if Declan Rice sees out his contract and doesn't play doesn't sign a new deal for Arsenal.
Well, I'm pretty. Isn't there? Yeah,
No, mate, I wouldn't like that.
yeah.
But I have like a weird, like I think he's the sort of person who'd go Real Madrid, Bayern Munich,
Easily swayed.
not easily swayed, but like fair enough. Like
Yeah. I think he'll stay for a really long time. I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he'll stay for a very long time. I'll just say 2029 to be safe. Like, I think he stays that long.
I don't think he retires at Arsenal. No chance.
I
But
mean,
also,
he has the capability to play for any team.
This is the problem now in modern game. Like, who's gonna retire at Arsenal now?
Yeah.
It's
You're
not
looking
gonna
at
happen.
it's more of an anomaly now, isn't it? As opposed
You're
to
not going to retire at a top club. Like, it's just not going to happen.
unless you love London, you love the club, you love the badge.
You love the club, the badge. I'll be the kit man. Martin Ødegaard.
I can see Ødegaard towards the end of his career going back to Spain and just vibes in.
Yeah, but I think at like 32. I think he'll be here. How old is he now?
Do you think he'll be
26?
superseded, or you think it'll be dictated by him? That's the question. I think that's the big question, isn't it?
His contract's till 2028. There's a few interesting contracts here. Rice will be 2 years next summer. Odegaard will be 2 years next summer. Martinelli's 2 years. Martinelli's less than 2 years already. Saka, we know we're in conversations.
I'm going to go 2028
for Odegaard.
I think he'll be replaced, but not sold.
Yeah, I just think his influence will slightly drop a little bit.
Could be earlier as well. Could be earlier.
I'm
going to go 2027. I'm going to go 2027.
Weirdly, I can see him being that first big sale.
Because we have to remember, right? Martin Odegaard came in 21-22 was his permanent purchase. So then 2027, that's a long time.
It's a long time at a club, mate.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think similarly. I think a lot of these guys. So there's guys to me who I don't think it matters whether we win or not, and that's Gabriel, David Raya, Ben White, Odegaard.
Yeah.
But I think there's other guys. Saka's a special case. Kai Havertz, who I think would basically just be here no matter what. But I think there's a few who it's going to depend on whether we win.
Who do you think is the first shock sale? The one that's because there was nothing that
shock sale.
Yeah, there's nothing that sent ripples down our spine like last summer. Nothing really. Like the biggest shock maybe for some might have been Kivior. Do you know what I mean? But that's not a shock.
Ethan Waneri.
Yeah, you've been saying this since Director's Box, I think.
I absolutely have not made up my mind. I absolutely have not, and I would. Here it comes. I would love to be wrong and to be proven wrong. Whatever. I just don't get. I don't currently see or Odegaard, and then when I don't know. Like is what I'm saying. But you can't tell me that Odegaard, Dauman, and Waneri are all in the team within 18 months. I'm sorry. Like you just can't. And Dauman is like, look, Waneri's brilliant. Waneri is a fantastic young player who deserves to play for England. Dauman's a freak. That is like a Saka level freak talent.
You don't see Waneri in that?
No, not in freak level talent. No. Good player, very good player. But again, it's I think we do this thing with our young players where it's like they come through, they look amazing, or therefore the sky must be the limit for them. I don't feel the sky is the limit.
But do you not think with the way football is going, and as we saw with the way that we've kind of assembled our squad this summer and the number of games and fixtures, that there is room for all of them, maybe?
Possibly.
Or you just think that it's going to be... I mean, that like the only way in which they don't become happy is everybody stays fit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Season-ending injury and something happens. I don't know, but as I keep saying, I don't know how Max, Ethan, and Odegaard are all at the club within 18 months. I don't understand how that works. Maybe it does. Maybe they're happy to rotate minutes out wide, or I don't know, whatever. But yeah. Should we do Eze?
I could see him staying for the remainder of his career at Arsenal.
Yeah, I think certainly the remainder of his contract. I don't know if he gets another contract at Arsenal because he's 27.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think Eze is going to get a Real Madrid move post Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No.
don't see that happening.
Yeah,
because I think purely because of his age.
Yeah.
Like
Martinelli.
Our player of the month.
I think him and White are on the basically let's see this season kind of thing.
Yeah,
I mean there was rumors that they were even looking at sale in the summer, but it would just no one came close to the price tag. You're right, mate.
Drop my
Good pen.
I think
let's
it's
finish.
the same as the Ben White situation. Yeah, I agree.
Victor, Bukayo staying forever, obviously. Victor Gyökeres and Kai Havertz.
Again, I think. So this is quite interesting now because Gabriel Jesus will go. Okay, so we've got two strikers on big contracts. They're on significant wages as well. Kai Havertz is approaching now a situation where we either renew or we let go if we're going by the way that we are looking to operate in terms of how we manage players in the remainder of their contract. I think Mikel loves Kai. I think we could see Gyökeres leave sooner than what we think.
I agree. But I don't think that's like a controversial take.
Yeah, I mean, it's not against the player. I think it's very difficult to have two players like Gyökeres and Kai Havertz with the age that they're at as well. You know,
I mean, there was confirmation today that the plan was for Kai to start the season at centre forward. So and it's ultimately a coach. Victor Gyökeres, we've gone over many times. We know the coach isn't 100% behind the sign. It wasn't his first choice, so that's fine. And I think he'll be here for 2027, maybe.
Yeah.
But then, if Mikel moves on, then maybe Gyökeres is the right guy for someone else.
Yeah. How long do you think Mikel stays for?
Let's do Kai, and then we'll finish with Mikel. I think Kai is another one who's slightly on that White Martinelli. Can you prove your fitness, or do we need to move on from you, especially with his wages?
Yeah. No, I buy that. I think Mikel would do his absolute best to try and keep him. So yeah.
Diego Diaz Pacheco.
It's very good.
Thank you. Became a YouTube member. Thank you, Diego. Appreciate it. Mikel, I think will be here until it all depends on us winning. Let's say he wins the Premier League this season and the Champions League next season. I think he'd be here for another 4 years.
Okay, so still long term.
I think we won't see Mikel leave. If we don't win anything at all, I think Mikel leaves end of next year. End of next season. If we do win stuff, I think by 2029, 2030, we'll be looking around.
Ultimately, I think Mikel dictates his position.
Yeah.
Whether Arsenal fans like it or not, I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to dictate it. It's based on what he feels. I don't think he'll stay at Arsenal for forever. I think he will want to go back local to his region. I could see he could manage any club. He could manage any club that he wants. Wild is his oyster. He's so young to win the game. We forget how young he is. Do you know what I mean? So
he'll also probably want a break, to be honest, after
doing cheeky sabbatical.
Yeah, 100%. I 100%. I can see him having a year off and then going anywhere basically. I think we said this before. He could go to Barca. He could go to. I think he could go. Weirdly, I think he could go to Madrid. Yeah. That's the weird thing about it. He could go to Barca and Madrid. I think he'd be fine.
I do remember that interview with Guillaume Ballard. Do you remember? It was like
yeah.
So he did. I do recall that. So yeah, I can see that.
Last 10 minutes of TCP Live. Why don't we answer your questions? See, you guys, you think we're just these big celebrity Arsenal fans who, don't think about you, but we actually do. Can you believe that? We're actually going to answer your questions. You're so lucky. Before this clip is taken out of context, this is called sarcasm.
Do you know what really annoyed me the other day? Well, a couple of weeks ago, right? So I'm getting my glasses back on because I'm serious about this, right?
Tell me.
So before we played Man City and Newcastle, I said 4 out of 6 points would be a solid return. Guess what the common response was? There was 300 replies, I think. Oh, but I want 6. We should be going for 6.
Just get off Twitter.
Yeah, no.
Just get off Twitter, Rohan.
I do.
That's the solution.
I have a feeling
you say you don't, but you love it. You absolutely love it.
Love what? Those comments? Are you joking?
No, Twitter.
I like Twitter. Yeah, Twitter's good. But do you not like Twitter?
No, I like it. My approach to it is so. It could not be more different than about a year ago.
No, but see, I reckon out of all 3 of me, you and George, I respond the least to people in terms of getting triggered.
I go through my replies, mate. To be fair, I do quite enjoy a little exchange, but it doesn't bother me. Like, honestly, about like a year and a half ago, it really got me, and like,
I don't. It doesn't affect my day. That's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I find it really crazy though, right? That people just can't read. Like,
yeah, but that's the site though. Like, I think that's a universal experience. And again, people just don't look up. It's the site. You get 280 characters. Of course, you're going to be misunderstood. Do you know what I mean? Of course, people aren't gonna like. You're speaking to thousands of people, and that's the power of it's like the whole thing here. I'll read a comment, and I'm like, that's not even close to what I said. But if you said to me, like, you have the genuine privilege of speaking to thousands of people about Arsenal, are you going to be misunderstood? Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
you are right. Misunderstood by multiple people. Who right. I also think it's funny when you like. You go on their profile and no disrespect to them, but you're just like, okay, I understand how you've misunderstood. Basically, is my point.
I have done that a couple of times.
You use too many big words. Like, what was the one on this?
Sesquipedalian.
Sesquipedalian. Simon says, Hypno, if you could make up a salacious rumor about anyone in the game, who would it be, and what would the rumor be about?
What, as in like content creators, or like?
Yeah, let's do content creators. I used to be a United fan. How about that as a rumor? Sure, that one annoys me more than anyone because 6. My dad was a United fan, and if anything, a 6-year-old going, actually, Dad, I don't want to support Man United. I want to support Arsenal. I should be lauded.
Sure, you could think for yourself, boy, Alex.
A 6-year-old boy has gone, actually, idol of my life, my father, as everyone's father is at some point. Oh, I'm gonna actually not do what you want me to do. I'm gonna support Arsenal.
So you were a rebel, weren't you?
I was for the Arsenal.
For the Arsenal.
I was a rebel for the arse.
Well, yeah.
You know? No, Rohan, not in the time I saw us this time. I
need you to go to Thailand so there can be all the rumors for you. Would you ever want to go to Thailand, Alex?
Would I want to go to Thailand? Yeah, I would actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, why does your new room look like a 1980s hotel room? Because my girlfriend chose the color. I actually really like the color. I can't lie. It's really like.
Oh yeah, I like it.
I would never have chosen it, but like you get like a warmth in the evenings. It's really nice.
You're giving me Mikel Arteta vibes now about
guys. The warmth in the evening, guys.
Yeah,
it's like a warmth, and you get like it's like a really relaxing space. Did Rohan mention holding 22? Yes, he did, Ram. This is the guy who joined late. He did.
God's sake.
Who's taking the last pen to win Arsenal Champions League between Alex and Rohan against an Alisson, Donnarumma, or Courtois? You are. I'm not doing that.
Well, I'm not taking it.
I am absolutely never taking that penalty.
Although I've
ever
never,
in my life.
I have never missed a penalty. I think I've taken about 20. So
Right, you're taking it then. You're taking it.
I'm taking it. I'm not taking it. I'm gonna no. You take it, Alex, and you're gonna go. No, you take it.
No, you. What we're gonna say like that? Yeah,
Yeah.
you take it.
What?
Mojman, lose either Saka or both. Lose. Okay, so we have to lose Saka or both Saliba and Gabriel. Oh, I don't want to answer that.
No, we
Can
have
we not?
to. He's a
Come
member
on,
for
can we-
21 months. We've got
No,
to
but
yes, no, we have to.
Oh, sorry, I missed one from earlier as well. We'll come back to that. Lose either Saka. I can't answer that. Saliba and Gabriel. I can't miss. I can't. No, he's my son. I can't do that.
Oh, what? But okay, right. Let's change the question. Right, we get 7 years more. We get 7 more years.
7 more years.
7 more years.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. I'm not losing Saka. Yeah.
We're not losing Saka.
Actually.
Saka. Why are people in the chat saying Saka? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm taking out Saka. Sorry.
How is Ethan not a freak talent?
That's for you, Alex.
I'm sorry. Like we have to be careful what we mean by freak. Think about look at Lamine Yamal. That's a freak.
Yeah.
Max Down at what he's doing at 15. That's freak. Ethan Waneri is a unbelievable football player who will have a great career at England and the top level. Doesn't make him a freak. Like that's a different thing.
I agree. I think talent wise there's a difference there. There is, but I love Ethan. I think Ethan is serious.
No, he's a proper ball. But again, it's like, because I don't think he's the best player in the world, I don't rate him. No.
Yeah.
George
give us some more juicy questions.
George is on TCPFC penalties.
Yeah, he can take it. I reckon George's got he's got like that Walter Marder type top corner.
Change the light bulb. You need white. No, I don't, DJ Polar. I want warm light. That's the whole point of a lounge. Yeah, I would with the penalty. Sorry, that was DJ Polar. It was unnecessarily aggressive about my light, getting defensive. Any comments about James leaving Air TV? We love James. That's our comment.
Listen, I think also right, just life. Things happen in life. Change happens, right? Just move on. So many people are invested in so many people are invested in why people have left and stuff like that. Just it's not your business.
Yeah, but it's funny because you build up like a parasocial relationship with people, right?
That's what it is. Yeah, that is what it is. So, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah,
but like, yeah, if who would be my equivalent? If Rohan Jivan left the Cannon podcast, I'd be gutted. That's my
I've got James.
Relationship.
I've got James on the rewatches. Me and James weekly.
Yeah,
me and my boy. Also,
people are saying it in the chat, and it's true. AFTV, say what you want, their go-is at certain things. Someone said it there. Quarantine AFTV. Peak.
Yeah,
cinema.
not for us watching though.
Sackett approaching 20k league minutes. How much more? When's it gonna end, Robbie?
Still got Madueke, mate.
Yeah, I think. So, how many more is he going to play?
How many more minutes? I don't know.
Sorry, Tipsy, we've got an answer. But Madueke is going to.
Madueke, I mean, you look at Darwin as well, I think.
Yeah, okay, here's a question. When are you leaving the Cannon podcast? When are all of our contracts expiring?
Let's do you first.
2099. I'll be here on an instant reaction like this. Hi everyone. Arsenal against AI United.
We've got to get Max Dowman out. He's not good enough.
Max Dowman's the coach. He's shit. Can you play any musical instruments?
Back in the day, I tried to play the flute. Right, lasted for 6 weeks. Couldn't be bothered with it.
Have you still got it somewhere?
I do have it somewhere. Yeah.
Can you play it for us, please?
I not here, but I need to find it. I need to find it somewhere in the attic.
Please, right, chat.
Not play it though.
We've got to get Rohan
I'm not playing the flute.
playing
No.
flute on TCP
That was
Live.
when I was in primary school.
That's what the audience want, mate.
8.
That's what the audience wants, mate. So what you're gonna say no to the audience?
Okay, well you've got to play the guitar.
I did live on TCP Live,
Oh.
and you have not returned the favor.
You have to play the trumpet.
I haven't got the trumpet. My girlfriend has a sax. Actually, I could try and play the sax, but you have played the flute.
Doesn't count though. It doesn't count.
You've got to play North London Forever on the flute.
This guy. North London Forever after 6 weeks of training on the flute.
Yeah, training. Doing practice.
I had lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had piano lessons at one point, and I remember turning up at the teacher's house, and she asked me if I wanted a cup of tea, and I said yes, and she said, "Do you want sugar?" And I said, "Yeah, can I have one?" No, sorry, no, I've told the story terribly. She said, "Do you want sugar?" And I went, "Oh yeah, please." And she went, "One?" I said, "Oh, can I have two?" And she went, "Two sugars?" And I'll never forget that. I felt incredibly shamed. And if you're watching, Mrs. Hannigan, or whatever your name was, I felt incredibly shamed in that moment as a young boy. And I didn't want to go back to piano lessons.
But was she cooking, though, on the slow cooker? Because now, if you...
She was marinating.
Because now, you can't have refillables at Nando's. You can only have one Coke. Buy one, get one free on, like, high sugar, high fat items. It's not a thing. So... What's she cooking?
She it's a great story. No, she was slow cooking. She was marinating something, but I felt incredibly shamed. My brother-in-law has 4 sugars. That's insane. To be fair, my friend Miss Hannigan, isn't Miss Hannigan an Annie? What was I going to say? I had a good point. I can't remember it. It's over. Out of all the TCP members, which would be all of the parents' favourites? I think you, Forder. I think you and my mum would get on actually, Forder.
Yeah, I'm pretty good though, but
I'm quite good with the parents actually.
But yeah, I'm good with parents.
Like, she's got the chat. Do you know what I mean?
They just don't. Yeah. I could talk to anybody. I could talk to anybody. Like,
who's your least favorite type of person? Like this person you're like, I cannot be stuck in a lift with you.
It's someone with like a narcissistic personality. It's the worst. Like, just constantly tell me about themselves, how they're really good at something. I can't deal with that. Just get me out of there. Get me out there. Like,
it's when someone doesn't know that they're talking too much, and you're just like,
oh yeah, they don't deal, and they don't know, like, they can't read body language as well. It's like you're trying to be nice, but you're also giving the impression like, mate, I'm done with this conversation.
And you've gone, yeah, like a million times.
Yeah.
Getting it. You're like, okay. People who are rude to waiters actually featuring you.
Yeah, that's also after you. So when you're at a restaurant, right? After you finish your meal, I think it's very good to clean up after yourself. You've made a mess, get all the plates together nicely so they can carry out. I do that every single time. You should not leave your plate just like there and you've got like rice on the table. Clean it up. Clean it up. And people and the waiters are like, oh, that's really nice. It's like,
no, it should be standard. 100% should be standard. And also, like in bars, if you've had a drink with someone, just take it to the bar. You're walking past it, just take it to the bar.
Yeah.
Like, why are you leaving it on? There's no point.
Yeah, or at the club, same thing. Yeah.
God, we're just such good people, aren't we? Such good people. But yeah, people being rude to wait, or just people being unnecessarily rude for no reason.
Do you know what I don't like though? It's when you open the door for someone and you're expecting a little thank you, and they say nothing. That's out of order. It's out of order.
Bang out of order.
And if I saw that same person, I'd not open the door for them. I'd be like, yeah, I'll just go slam it.
You rebel.
Yeah, I'm petty like that.
Rebel.
I can be petty. Yeah, because I'm hard.
Yeah, well, you're so tall, so.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks so much for watching the Cannon Podcast.
You might be here next week.
I'm not here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm actually not on the Cannon Podcast. I don't celebrate for over 2 weeks. So I'm not back until the Crystal Palace instant reaction on the 26th of October. And but it might not even be then, because it might have to be that Monday. There you go.
I've got you.
Sorry, team. Don't say thank God, Sheikh Mikel. And if that is you, Mikel Arteta, on a burner account, I don't appreciate that. I have it on good authority. Mikel has a burner account, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Tell me more personally.
I'll tell you after. But
Yeah,
I have it
please
on
do.
good authority. So he.
Do not
But
forget to
they
text
all
me.
must. They all must do.
I want to know more details though.
I'll tell you. Thanks everyone for being here. Hope you're all good. Sorry about missing the podcast, but you can
I
have
hope his
fun.
burner account follows me.
Rohan.
Sorry.
You're such a narcissist. After saying that the thing you like the least is narcissism. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's me, Mikel, says Jamal. Hi, Mikel. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you, Rohan.
Nice one.
Thank you so much. I forgot to say, someone I beefed with not beefed. We fell out over something. I think I was wrong actually. Someone I beefed with came up to me in a chicken shop, the Korean chicken shop, and I'm not going to say which one because it's the best one, and it's usually empty on match days, and I'm not telling you where it is. It's unbelievable. And said, "Oh, I'm that person from X," and I actually was like in person was like, "Oh, I'm this person." Oh yeah, hey, no, we had a chat, and it was a faceless account.
Was it?
But I knew who it was.
Did it end up in a brawl?
Didn't. He did come and sit. So I was sat here, and my friend was there, and then he sat there, like facing me.
And there was loads of room. There was like loads of room.
He could have sat
Yeah,
there.
that's weird. That's weird.
I was just like,
do you know what's really bad? Okay, the final point on this. On the train, if it's an empty train, right, and you're sat there and someone sits next to you, like, mate, you've got the whole carriage.
Maybe they fancy you.
Copy that as well.
I fancy you.
Tens of thousands of football fans came to Highbury. This was one kind of queue the ladies thoroughly enjoyed.
Electrifying. Ferocious.